Nothing can stop us. Whatever brings this moment, nothing can break us. Nothing can stop us.
When we rise, we're unstoppable, you know. Through trials and storms, together we grow. Every heartbeat that goes in perfect harmony. With faith as our anchor, united we'll be together.
Nothing can break us. Nothing can stop us.
Wait for it. Can't shut the door.
This moment, nothing can break us. Nothing can stop us.
Why really stay? Yeah, yeah.
This moment,
And growing nothing. He goes down there. New territory. Oh, riding our own path, creating new territory. Standing on His word. Oh, nothing can stop us. Never waste one face for King.
On this little journey so divine, with every heartbeat feeling love's design. Come together now to the spirit line. In the secret space, our souls will shine. We're here to lift each other, feel the grace within. Celebrate the victories when we begin. Every voice and chorus that the praise is sing. In this circle of love, the bond will never end. We'll overcome a fate in our way. Hand in hand, united, come what may. Raise the anthem high, let our spirits sway. In harmony of love, let the music play. Before we begin, let's embrace the light. Gather around, together we'll ignite. The spark of hope and the shine so bright. In the circle of love, you're never out of sight. With hands in air, feel the spirit. Ooh, hear a step and sing. Let's find a groove. Through melodies of faith, we'll always improve. The fighting purpose, there's nothing we can prove. Praise, word, and friend. That's the element truth I say conjunction. One to the flow out there, we return. We let the wicked take your praise, word, and friend. Oh, it's just about the truth that brings conjunction. This lady calling the Terra Puno. Go to a beach to see this praise, word, and friend. And all, keeping my mind and have a produce music. All my time, I'm just the finest. We got my rules. That dog, around that dog. Oh, that dog. That dog. Praise, word, and friend. Man, through where we get down. It's ain't the first time, will be the last time. You're over brilliant Texas. Tell somebody is playing word and friend. Move to the rhythm like that. Gather round, everybody feel the soul. It's the music that can message through happy friends. Where the love always shows. Praise, word, and friend. I'm still can't get it, baby, bring it back in. Hey, I don't wanna be the last to mine. I can't go on until you go. If you wanna come, girl, I can't go. I say deliver on love, but the guy no fears and start on the world with heathen spray. Cause it's way there, there's a pick and roll. We're here to stay. Go get the junk underneath those stairs high. Yeah, then you put sponges in the rain. What they see in your time to tell. Was it just in the ground of town? Yeah, you make a rule. A matter is so we'll review every time. We're passion in our heart, we move ahead. Through every time we're being led.
Good morning, good morning. Good morning to you and you and you and you. So grateful to be hanging out with each and every one of you this morning. I hope that you're grateful to be in this space as well. And if you are, do me a favor, tag, text, and tell somebody. Tell them to come on in the space and hang out with your boy this morning. We're going to take the ride just for a few moments. about an hour, no more than an hour. So, hey, buckle in, join in, get connected, tag, text, and tell somebody. Why don't y'all go ahead and do that for me this morning? I certainly would appreciate it. Yeah, so today we're going out on Facebook, my personal page, Wade's Word of the Day page, YouTube, Wade's Word of the Day. We're also going out on Twitch, and as always, we will, on the back end, drop some content also on Instagram as well as on TikTok a little later today. So if you have not subscribed in all of our spaces, do me a favor and go ahead and do that right now. It's real simple. If you're on the YouTube side, make sure you just go ahead and click that, that tab, get out of the comment section. Just go ahead and hit that heart and then go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Certainly we would appreciate it. I see folk making their way in. Aisha, Lori, Ma Dukes has made her way in, and others. Thank you so much for coming in this morning. And since you're in, why don't you invite a friend? Yeah, and you do that by just simply, tagging somebody. Just drop this symbol in real quick and it'll drop all of your followers. It'll send a thing and it'll just say followers. So I just dropped you. All you got to do, @ symbol. And then once you do that, it's going to say send to everybody. And you just click on everybody and it'll go ahead and send it out to everybody that you know. Miss Audrey, good to see you this morning as well. Good to see each and every one of you this morning. All right, y'all ready to get started? Y'all know what it is. I said, are y'all ready to get started? I don't see y'all typing like y'all excited. Y'all kind of, got that Jeopardy thing going on this morning. That simply means, that simply means y'all taking y'all time. So come on, let's go ahead, tag, text, and tell somebody, tell them to come on in the space this morning. Yeah, let's get started. Y'all know what it is. It's Wade's Word and Friends. Here we go.
Wade's Word and Friends. It's a family affair. Tag a soul in need, show them that you care. If you're looking to connect with hearts so grand, we're the chorus of love. Come take our hand. Let's go. Wade's Word and Friends. Tag your brother, your sister, in unity we mend. Wake up and tell a friend. Wade's Word and Friends is about to begin. Text, tag, and spread the word. Wade's Word and Friends is the new hot space for all things funny, challenging, and creative. So wake up, tag a friend, and spread the word. Tag someone who needs a smile today. So if you want to be a part of something special, we are the space. Let's go, Wade's Word and Friends. Tag someone who needs to hear this and spread the word. Clap your hands, stomp your feet. Let the spirit move. In this house of joy, our souls we soothe. With every beat we're sharing Wade's truth. We're sharing Wade's truth. In this fellowship, our hope sweet boots. Bring it down now. Wade's Word and Tribe. Join the movement. Feel the vibe.
Yeah, join the movement, feel the vibe. Yeah, it's good to see everybody today. So go ahead and drop in the comments section. Drop in the comment section how you feeling, what you got going on, what's happening with you, and all of that good stuff. Let me see here. Get this style together. All right, there we go. Looks good right there. All right. How has your week been? What's been going on with you? Go ahead and drop that in the comments section as well. In a moment, we're going to center ourselves as we normally do. Anything that's on your mind, anything that you want us to be lifting up on your behalf, go ahead and drop it in the comments section as well. We can do that this morning. Yeah, we're going to center ourselves. We're going to break some new music. Lori, go ahead and drop in the comment section for the first time. Let me get it here. Acts chapter number 16, verses 25 through 26. As always, I tell you to go ahead and read that in its entirety on your own in your own time. Again, the goal is not to speed read. Line upon line, precept upon precept, a little bit here, a little bit there, right? So make sure that you're doing that. Again, we're reading through the Gospels this year. Have you all been reading through your Gospel this year? Have you, do I have to, hopefully I don't have to remind you every week. It should be a part of your habit now. Thank you so much for dropping that in the comment section. I am feeling good. All right, what you sipping on today? I'm sipping on a little bit of pineapple juice. A little bit of pineapple juice. Yes. To your health. And obviously, I'm drinking it through some of this Ways, Word, and Friends swag. So why don't you go get some of that swag? You can simply get it at wayswordandfriends.com. wayswordandfriends.com. One word, Ways, Word, and Friends, then .com. Go ahead and grab some of that swag over there. This is, we put these things out for you to do so that we don't have to be on here begging, you know what I mean, begging for money. Matter of fact, while I'm thinking about it, go ahead and put something on it this morning. In this space, we really only ask for $5. If you want to give more, go ahead and do that. Some of us who know the power of participating in that manner, we know the blessings that come from that. Continue to do what you've been doing. I'm sure that you're seeing the results of that. Others who may not have come up to that place yet. And it is what it is. So we ask that you go ahead and support any way that you deem necessary. But we want everybody to give, if you can, a minimum of $5. I'm going to go ahead and drop that on the tab, the various ways that you can do it. So go ahead and participate in that way. And if you need a little bit of inspiration, we always try to give you some little inspiration in this moment. Here you go.
Put something on it for the mission. Put something on it for the vision. I got you long ashes. Yes, I got you long as you feel me, and I got you long as you heal me. I got you long as you see me. Yeah. Put something on it for the mission. Yeah. Spread the word, share the vision. Tell 'em, son. Lift the spirit, no division. Come together. Keep it true, let's keep lifting. Stand tall, we rise above. Rise up. With faith and love, that's enough. That's right. Keep it moving, we won't stop. Never. Building up, reaching the top. Let's go. I got you long as you feel.
Appreciate each and every one of you who have put something on it. Come on, everybody. Tag, text, and tell somebody. Come on, tell them to come on in the space this morning. Tell them to come on in. All right, let's go ahead and get ourselves centered this morning. I released that one too early, so let me get something that we can.
So let the angels sing.
All right, there we go. Wonderful. All right, everyone. Okay. So let's center ourselves. Get comfortable. Come on, let's take that first deep breath. Breathe it in. Blow it out. Come on, let's do it one more time. One more time, everyone. One more time. So that we can get on the same page. Come on, breathe it in. Breathe it out. This is a good moment to release negativity, to invite good energy, to cultivate, to create a space amongst all of us here collectively together where we feel his presence, but not only his presence, but we feel each other's presence. This is a good moment even right now for you to release. Come on, blow it out. Those bad thoughts. Those sad stories. The insecurities. Yeah, come on, remove that even right now. Because he who knows all things, he who sees all things, he who makes all things well is creating and cultivating a space where you can truly be you. Where you can release the burdens and the chains. Not feeling that you are who you are supposed to be. Where you keep playing the criticism of your haters in your head. Come on, let that go this morning. Release that this morning. And replace that with good energy. An energy that says you were built for this. You were created for this. Energy that says there is no lack. Energy that simply says problems are possibilities in disguise. The energy that recognizes that he will never leave us nor forsake us. Energy that says my faith is strong, my resolve is strong, I'm resilient. And nothing that comes to disturb me can kill me. Nothing that comes to deter me from the purpose and the plan that he has for my life can move me. Come on, receive that good energy this morning. Come on, let's take that another deep breath. Come on, breathe it in. Blow it out. Now have a level of gratitude for what he is doing. The possibilities are limitless when we recognize his care and his concern from us, when we realize that we cannot run from him. David said, "Oh, where can I go from your presence?" That you are, in fact, everywhere. Let us have a little level of gratitude that we don't look like what we've been through, that he has brought us out of many challenges, many, as the old folk would say, toils and snares. And we're here together with him. So nothing can break us. Nothing can stop us. Nothing can deter us. Because he is, in fact, awesome. His power is limitless. But he's not a selfish God who just sits up there. He determined to give us power to speak to our mountains and tell them to move, power to speak those things that be not as though they were, to act like a thing is so even when it is not, so that it might be so. He's given us power to accept his grace and his mercy, not based on merit, not based on our works, but just based on the fact that he's good. So I don't know about you, but I'm grateful for that. I'm thankful for that. And then finally, let us have a level of gratitude for one another. So many of us believe that this is just simply about you and your God. But if you read your Bible,
That's the Bible, y'all.
you'll find, no, God has created us to be together, to pray for one another, to encourage one another. Let's have a level of gratitude for one another in this space. Yeah, we're thankful for your presence. We're thankful for who you are. We're thankful for the challenges that you have overcome. We're thankful because he's not through with you and he's not through with me. Yeah, gratitude. And as we take this last deep breath in, as we blow it out, let's cherish the moments that we have with him and that we have with one another. Let's cherish that he's growing us up and that we're moving beyond just simply religious dogma, but we're really pressing into, if you will, that hidden space, that place of praise that's beyond a Hammond organ, that's beyond a run, shout, and jump, but that praise that really brings us peace, real peace, peace that even passes our own understanding. Come on, here we go. Breathe it in. Blow it out. Yeah. Amen. 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 Yeah, let's just take a few moments to just rock to that.
Building connections, one smile from the heart. Ways, word, and friend. So let the angels sing when Harvard up the blend.
Come on, everybody, big it up this morning. Yeah, I'm grateful to be in this space with you all this morning. So, what are we going to do? Obviously, I'm going to talk to you for a few moments. Again, Acts chapter number 16, verses 25 through 26. Read it on your own time, if you will. I'm also going to release a new song today. Yeah, let's get into that. I didn't make a video or anything for the song. I just felt like I just wanted to see how it would sit on you all. So I'm going to go ahead and play it, and it's based on what I'm going to kind of talk about today. Yeah. So here we go. Let me know if you're feeling it.
This is an escape room, but with my praise I'm breaking out, dispelling every clue. Like Paul and Silas in the midnight hour they sang, watch these prison doors fly open by the power his name brings. Yeah, I'm seeing my way out, freedom's on its way. No lock, no chain, no darkness can hold me another day. Walls closing in, feeling the pressure rise. Don't win to run, don't win to hide, so it seems to my eyes. Heavy chains on my spirit, can barely breathe. Feels like a dead end street, no way I believe. No ways were that friend. Ways were that friend. Ways were that friend. This ain't no ordinary cell. This is an escape room. But with my praise I'm breaking out, dispelling every gloom. Like Paul and Silas in the midnight hour they sang, watch these prison doors fly open by the power his name brings. Yeah, I'm saying my way out, freedom's on its way. No lock, no chain, no darkness can hold me another day. Walls closing in, feeling the pressure rise. Don't win to run, don't win to hide, so it seems to my eyes. Heavy chains on my spirit, can barely breathe. Feels like a dead end street, no way I believe. Ways the word and friends. Ways word and friends. All the foundations are shaking, the chains are falling down. It's an earthquake of deliverance all over this town. Yeah. Praise him. Ways word and friends. Escape room, yeah. Ways word and friends. Freedoms. Ways word and friends. Silas showed me the way. Ways word and friends. Pray.
Ah. Yeah. Let me know how y'all like that one. Man, that sounded so good. I got to run it back real quick.
Praise him all the way out. Hey, ways word and friends. Ain't
Come
no
on.
ordinary cell. This is an escape room, but with my praise I'm breaking out, dispelling every clue. Like Paul and Silas in the midnight hour they sang, watch these prison doors fly open by the power his name brings.
My part right here. Come on.
Yeah, I'm seeing my way out, freedom's on its way. No lock, no
Hey.
chain, no darkness can hold me another day.
Come on.
Walls closing in, feeling the pressure rise. Don't win to run, don't win to hide, so it seems to my eyes. Heavy chains on my spirit, can barely breathe. Feels like a dead end street, no way I believe.
Hey!
No ways were that friend. Ways were that friend.
All right, that's enough of that. Big ups, everyone. Yeah, I like that one. That's based on what I want to talk about today. Acts 16, 25 through 26. Very familiar text. To some, may not be to others. So I'm just going to read a little bit of it, and it just simply says at midnight, Paul and Silas were praying and singing hymns to God. And the other prisoners were listening to them. Suddenly there was such a violent earthquake that the foundations of the prison were shaken. At once all the prison doors flew open and everyone's chains came loose. So all week long, we have been talking about going to an escape room. And we finally went. And our particular escape room was based on Alcatraz. I'm sure some of y'all are familiar with the story, the prisoners who broke out of Alcatraz, this prison that was supposed to be fortified out in right between San Francisco and Oakland, if you will. And so it was a good time because literally you're kind of locked in, and then you have to use clues to help you to get out. It's kind of this kind of race against time. But today I kind of want to talk about a real life escape room, but a literal prison break that we find here in the text that we have tagged this morning. It really is a dramatic narrative in the Bible.
That's the Bible, y'all.
In the basic settings and the thing that, if you're familiar with the text, oftentimes we spend a whole lot of time kind of dealing with what was happening, what was going on, bigging up Paul and Silas. They are locked in a Philippian, if you will, jail. They've been thrown in unjustly, and they're not just in the regular dormitory, if you will, of the cells. They have found themselves in what we call now solitary confinement. In the Bible, it called it the innermost cell. But not only were they in the innermost cell, but the text says that they were also shackled. Y'all remember Mary, shackles on my feet, won't let me dance. They are locked in, truly locked in. They're not on the outer cell, but they're in the innermost, as the text says, the innermost cell, and they are fastened, handcuffed, shackled. If you really think about it, it's humiliating. There's darkness, there's pain. I would imagine it's chilly and cold, just uncomfortable situation all the way around. Don't sleep on my message. I know where I'm going. Give me 5 minutes and I'm going to be out your way. But here it is. Yeah, it's cold, it's chilly, it's dark. They're confined. They're on the innermost part of the cell, if you will. But the text says they do something that oftentimes we don't do. We like to complain about our cell. We like to complain sometimes about being in the innermost part of the cell. We like to complain about how we are going through. We like to complain, why me? When the real question should be, why not you? The text says they don't complain, they find a praise. Now I know for you sanctified, Holy rollers right there. You ready to run, shout, and dance. That's your cue. They found their praise. For some of y'all, you don't need to hear anything else. They found their praise. Yes, they found their praise. I wonder this morning, how many of you who feel like you're in a dire situation, you've been going through, lost some folk, been stressing out maybe about the job situation, or you're wrestling with some relational things. Have you found your praise? I know you didn't call all of the agencies, which you should. When you're trying to figure out some things, I know you feel that pain in your body. I know you didn't check in with your doctor and all of that kind of stuff. I know some of y'all have even sat down with some professionals, because I believe in therapy and all of that stuff. There's nothing to be shameful about that. I believe in that. But I wonder, have you found your praise, even in chains, even in the midst, being in the innermost, if you will? That's a dark place. That's a dreary place. That's a difficult place. But I wonder, have you found your praise? This is a good moment to tag text and tell somebody it's getting good, it's getting better, and they need to get on over here. Yeah, this would be a good moment to do that. Because the text says, and I'm moving along, it says they find their praise, and because they find their praise, they receive a divine intervention. Now, you got to pick this up. Now, the text describes it as feeling like an earthquake. Now, I would imagine they're getting their praise on, but when the sail gets to rocking and rolling and tipping and turning and them loud boom bams and all of that stuff, I would imagine initially they didn't think that this was a divine intervention. Sometimes we read into the text without actually looking at the text, because here is the reality. If your house, even where you sit right now, get to rocking and rolling, even as you've done your morning meditation, even as you said your morning prayer, I don't know, let's be honest this morning, I don't know if you and I would consider that in that real-time moment, in the midst of the shaking and the rocking, as being something as it relates to being a divine intervention. But we learn from the text that it is. Yeah, that through this help of God, that their shackles come off. And in the words of Mary, they can dance, if you will, right? Yeah, God himself shows up on their behalf. And I wondered this morning, have you found your praise? And do you discover that through finding your praise, that God has a way of shaking some things up? And initially, in the shaking, it doesn't feel comfortable. It kind of feels like, oh Lord, not another thing. Oh Lord, not this. Until you do like Paul and Silas, you look at your hands and your hands don't look like what they used to. The old folk used to say, I looked at my hands look new. Looked at my feet, they did too. Why? Because the shackles have been removed. This place that was designed to keep them in, to lock them in. It is when they found their praise, God sent a moment. Yeah. Through divine intervention that, loosed the shackles off their hands and off of their feet. And I wonder, can we take 30 seconds just to be thankful in this moment? Yeah. Just to be thankful this morning because God has taken some shackles off of us. Yeah, there's been moments in our lives when we've been shackled. And some of y'all are thinking I'm just talking about kind of in the physical sense or kind of in the metaphoric sense. But here is the reality. I'm not just talking about on the negative side. Sometimes some of us have been in bondage even to our religious dogma. And I wonder this morning, is anybody grateful? Because you confuse tradition with Bible. You confuse because we've done it this way forever. You confuse that with being God. But here it is. Are some brothers who locked down in jail who had some religious dogma on them, but thanks be to God that he took them shackles off of them. Yeah, this is, if you will, a true tale of an escape room. And oftentimes, this is where we end. Paul and Silas prayed. One of them sang a song. One of them read a scripture. The jail shook and rocked and all of that kind of stuff. And the shackles came off. And by this time, Hammond organ is kicking in and everybody running, shouting, and dancing. But can I suggest to you something this morning that many of us fail to really recognize in the text? And here is the first thing. One, we see the inadequacy of dogma and heritage. Yeah, there's a critical point that we miss in the text. It's a point that I want to emphasize today. The jailer, like many people in his society, Paul and Silas, like many folk in their society, they had a religious background, a culture steeped in religious practices and beliefs. Yeah, this jailer may have even worshiped the Roman gods, participated in various rituals, adhered to certain societal codes. Yet, when the crisis hit, hear me, y'all, come on in closer. Your religious dogma does not provide any solace. It offered no hope, no strength, no escape from the despair that drove even this jailer to believe at this moment he was going to die because his prisoners were set free. My friends, your religious rituals can't save you, nor could they save him. The sacrifices he may have offered, the prayers he may have recited, his adherence, if you will, to civic religion, none of it provides the inner peace and security. And we know that to be the fact because he is ready to take himself out just because something in his world has gone left. Prisoners he's guarding somehow got out of their chains. Y'all ain't picking up the ramifications of this. The prisoners that they had in bondage had somehow been released from their chains. the prisoners that they had in captivity, that they had on lockdown, that they thought that they had them secured with no sense of hope, had been set free from the bondage. And as a result of that, this joker is almost losing his mind. So much so that he is ready to take himself out. And can I suggest to you that, some folk that I used to rock with, some folk that I used to hang with, they are like losing their mind because they thought that the religious dogma that had bound us, had confined us, that had us locked up, and now that we're free, we're free from that. Free from that way of thinking. Free from thinking that it's our religious dogma, our religious traditions that draw us closer to God. No, Paul and Silas teach us a very valuable lesson. It is not in your religion, but it's in your relationship with He who knows all things, and He who sees all things, and He who makes all things well. It is through that relationship. Notice something they don't call on the religious hierarchy. They ain't looking for bishop. They ain't looking for pastor. But what they were looking for in that moment, they called on to their God. And as a result, He sent divine intervention, and they're free. But those who had them in bondage, bondage to the pews, bondage to the giving, bondage to the protocol, bondage to the tradition. They start to lose their mind when you find your freedom. The text says that he starts to lose his mind because those who he thought he had in bondage, who would never be free, are free. But I'm so grateful today that Paul and Silas is not like some of us. Paul and Silas, they're free. Shackles are no longer on their hands and on their feet, and they could have looked at the one who had them in bondage and said, "Good for you. Glad you're feeling the type of way. I'm glad you're about to lose your mind. I'm glad you deserve to feel the way that you feel because of what you did to me." No, Paul and Silas teaches us a very powerful lesson, because they not only found peace, but they brought peace. Y'all ain't picking up what I'm putting down. Y'all ain't picking up what I'm putting down. They found peace, so they brought peace. Not only did they find grace, but they gave grace. Not only did they find love, but they gave love. And too many of us, we are finding our peace, but we don't want to give no peace. We have found grace in God, but we don't want to give others grace. We have found His love, we don't want to give no love. We have found all of these things, but instead of returning those things, we are returning bondage, judgment, criticism. Paul and Silas, They found peace, and so they wanted to give this jailer peace. And I don't know what you come to do. I don't know what you want to do, but now that I done found freedom, I want to share freedom. Now that I've found my peace, I want to share that peace. Now that I've found joy, real joy, unspeakable joy that cannot be moved by the naysayers and the haters and the noise of the world, I want to give and share that joy and share that love. And the jailer, upon hearing this, that even though he hated on Paul and Silas didn't hate on him. He now has an ear to say, I want that. I want that type of love. I want that type of peace. I want that type of grace. And am I talking to anybody who want that? That you beyond just a two-step and a Hammond organ. You want a peace that really passes all of your understanding, that helps you to come out even in the midst of your dire situations. A freedom that says, I'm free to live. I'm free to not only enjoy this life, but I understand that I'm connected to He who knows all things, sees all things, and who has a future hope for me. This is why I said last week, our walk is a present reality, not just a future hope. I want to relish in His peace on this side. I want to be thankful for His joy on this side. I'm not waiting just to get someplace, because He has already, He has already showed up. He's already shook the foundations of our lives, and our shackles are off, y'all. Our chains are gone, y'all. Free. Free to live. Free to be. Free to dance. Free to walk in peace. Free to walk in authentic love, a love of God that is beyond our mistakes, a love of God that is beyond our religious dogma, a love that says, I will never leave you nor forsake you. What can wash away all of my mistakes? Nothing but His blood. Freedom that says His grace is sufficient for me and for you and for us. So if you're trying to escape your escape room, you do it through Jesus. Bible says
That's the Bible, y'all.
He is the way, the truth, and the life. It is not your church that you go to. It is not your religious dogma or your religious past. It's not how much money you got in your pocket, and I'm not hating on you if you got a little money in your pocket. It's not even your traditions or your heritage. While all of those things may be well and good, escape, my escape room. And I realized that my hope is built on nothing less than Jesus' blood and his righteousness. My friends, you want to escape your escape room? You escape in Jesus alone. You want to find your level of freedom, you find it in Jesus alone. You want peace, you find that in Jesus alone. While all the other things may be great, never forget the foundation. JESUS. Paul and Silas found freedom, found love, found peace, found joy. But they did not keep it to themselves. Shared it to this jailer who was ready to throw in the towel, who thought it was all over. That's kind of faith. That's the kind of movement that I want to be a part of. You ready to escape your escape room? You ready for the shackles to really be moved? Find your praise. Be grateful for the shaking. And then share the story. Find your praise. Be thankful for the shaking. And then share your story. Find the praise. Be thankful for the shaking. And then find your story.
Ways, word, and friends. I rise from the ashes, breaking through the night. With every heartbeat, I'm reaching for the light. They say it's tough, but I wear my scars with pride. A testimony of strength, love's my guide. When the weight gets heavy, I lean on the higher. Faith fuels my fire, ignites my desire. With a rhythm to my struggle, I navigate the storm. In this journey of life, I know I'll transform. Oh, I'm grounded in hope, rooted in faith. Even when the world is spinning, losing pace, I hold on tight to the promise in my heart. A brighter morning, a brand new start. The wind howls fierce, the storm clouds gather round. Shadows stretch long upon this weary ground. Hope feels fragile, a flicker in the dark, but deep inside a tiny stubborn spark. I may stumble, I may fall, I may shed a tear, but I'll rise again, banishing all fear. For faith's a compass, pointing to the light, guiding me through darkness with all its might. Even when the world is spinning, losing pace, I hold on tight to the promise in my heart. A brighter morning, a brand new star, With every sunrise, I breathe a new day, a melody of grace in every word I say. Life's a journey, I embrace the highs and lows, but love is my armor through the trials I roll. Mountains may rise and rivers may part, but I'll keep on moving with faith in my heart. Every setback's a setup for a glorious rise. I see the horizon painted in white sky. Wait is word and friends.
Yes. I am. Yeah. Escape room. Somebody type that in the comment section. Escape room. Anybody thankful that he has, allowed you to escape your escape room? Yeah. All of the hurdles, all of the hiccups, all of the hurt, all of the harm. But he has been faithful. And I don't know about you, I'm grateful for that. Hey, I've dropped the link if you want to come in and share. Again, there's two ways you can come in. You can come in on camera, you can come in off camera, right? So if you don't want to be on camera, just don't turn your camera on. The link is dropped in the chat. I'm going to post it's right there. You can see it on the lower third, if you will. Click on that if you want to come in and holler at your boy, whatever may be on your mind. We got a few moments this morning, so if you got a question that you, a question, that you've been wrestling with, and maybe you're looking for some insight on that, go ahead and pop in and ask that question. Certainly, you can do it in the chat as well. If you got a question, go ahead and drop it in the chat. But remember, I have the right to pull you up on the screen or also take you down from the screen. So just so that we can have some clarity on that. All right. So who is going to come in and holler at your boy or drop something in the comment section? I just want to check and make sure that I didn't miss anything. All right. I know that's right. And I like that song as well. Yeah. All right. So the link is up. I'm going to drop it one more time. Just in case you missed it. All right. Who's going to? Also, you can see the various ways that you can give. Go ahead and support. Again, we only ask for $5. All right. We got a few people coming in. I'm going to bring in Shakira and Lori.
Good morning. Of course,
Good
me and
morning.
Lori together, the fantastic duo.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What's on your mind?
I guess I'll go first. Question. So I know you guys have all known what the state and the country are going through. Do you have any helpful tools that could help me get through some of these difficult times? Because when we go to work every day, none of us know what's going to happen. And I think the conversations me and my coworkers are having, and the difference is I'm like, hey, I'm not worried about it because I know God's going to figure it out. But it gets a little weary when everyone else around you is in panic mode.
Right. So first of all, God did not promise us smooth sailing. He said in this life you will have trials and tribulations, but then here's the caveat. He says, be of good cheer, or he has overcome the world. So the first thing, when any of these shiftings and shakings happen in our lives, we need to first remember who's in control, right? Now that doesn't dismiss what I'm feeling, right? That doesn't dismiss what I'm feeling. It doesn't dismiss what I'm seeing. It doesn't dismiss what I'm going through, right? But I'll say what I just said earlier. Have you found your praise in it, right? And I'm not, and again, I'm not talking about this kind of when we think about this kind of churchy praise, this kind of emotional thing running around and shout. No, what I'm talking about is have you found your peace in it? In other words, I'm clear about who ultimately controls everything. So no matter which way the wind shakes, I'm going to be like that tree that may, swing back and forth, but because my roots are deep, I'm going to stand. I'll stand through the test and the trial. Now that's for me. Now what can I provide now for those people who are not rooted like me, who don't have the same faith ethic that I have, right? So the first thing I can do, I can be a place of peace, right? A place of peace. So as they are wrestling with what seems like, traumatic and problematic situations, I can be peace. So I remember one of my coworkers said to me, she was like, Ronnie, she was like frustrated. She was like, you just always so positive. And then my position is always, right, that problems are just possibilities in disguise, right? And so I want to be that place of peace. I don't want to add to the tension that's being built up, in my surroundings. So I want to be that place of peace. Not only that, I want to be that place of encouragement. And when I'm talking about encouragement, it's not Bible thumping. It's not, you need to, all of this, that, and the third that we sometimes do to turn people off. It's just being a presence, right?
Yeah.
It's being a presence of peace, a presence of stability that affords an opportunity for me now to share my story about why I have this comfort and why I have this peace and knowing. And so that would be my initial advice. Don't act like it is not real. You know what I mean? And sometimes, in our churchiness, we try to act like what we're feeling, what we're seeing, what we're experiencing is not real. No. No, this is real. This is happening to me. You know what I mean? I have to navigate through this. Paul and Silas in that jail is not a fragment of our imagination. They were physically in a space dealing with some stuff. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So there's an acknowledgement of that. But then again, the real tools is that inner thing that I got going on, not just this external thing that I going on. If it's real on the internal, it'll show up on the external in whatever space I'm navigating in. But I got to be authentic and real in that. So here is the push on that. I can't be faking it. Because when I really need it, I'm going to have to show up real, true, and authentic to it. You follow what I'm saying? And again, that's not attire looking like, it's not attire. It's not what I got on the outside. It's not where I go. It's not because I go to church. I got it because I could be in church every Sunday, but when the crisis hit, I can become like your coworker. Because I really wasn't rooted and grounded in that internally. You follow what I'm saying?
So something else I wanted to share with the spiritual super.
You broke up. Say it again.
So we were in like a group setting, and you had some folks that I wouldn't say that they worship the devil, but they don't practice what I practice, or maybe what my coworkers practice. And one of them was like, "Oh, the devil is a liar," and I'm like, "Hold up, wait, that may be just politics." I don't want to scare these folks to think that that's like the devil is taking our job. Like, let's bring it back to like a norm, but it's definitely language that I think people hear, and we don't notice the subtle moments where we can connect folks to Jesus versus maybe pushing them away.
Yeah, no. So again, that's about knowing your environment, right? Paul said something concerning some of our practices, right? when he was talking about how folks were speaking in languages that nobody could understand, right? And so he said, if you're not careful, when folks who are not connected um, to your practices, right, and they come into the midst of that, and you start talking in a language that seems foreign to you, to them, they're going to say you crazy. You understand
Mhm.
what I'm saying? So sometimes we do a real good job of talking gibberish amongst one another, but we can't talk just regular. You know what I mean? To regular folks, and so again, that's presence, that's understanding my environment, that's trying to set an example, if you will, but mainly um, just being authentic and true to who you are. And when you're authentic and true to who you are in whatever setting you're in, people are going to understand. Yeah, this person may love the Lord, but she's human, and
Mhm.
she recognizes her frailty. She recognizes her faults, but she doesn't allow those things to shake her from her peace or from her purpose. And when you set those examples, then it opens up conversations for you to exchange or to help people to understand or learn the new language. But
Mhm.
but if you don't get that, then it's kind of like you speak Spanish, I speak English, and neither one of us are understanding what we're talking about. You know what I mean? And we're fighting to communicate. So that's what I would say um, as it relates to that. Yeah, sometimes we just use our religious jargon on everything, even when it ain't appropriate, for the moment. Or at least that's how I see it. Some of you may disagree, but I'm comfortable with you disagreeing. But that's the point. All right, Lori, you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, because like this wasn't a real good month for me, and
Mm,
like I can't really fake it either. I used to could hide it and fake stuff,
mm,
but
mm,
it wasn't a really good month for me. So, and it just happened like I'm just like one night,
mm,
and like I just really just went to Jesus, and now
mm,
I'm about to kind of cry anyway.
mm,
But
mm,
God don't
mm,
make no mistakes.
mm,
Don't and I know he's real and I know he's awesome
mm,
because Shakira had the nerve to call me like right on time.
mm,
And I know God is real and I know there's healing and deliverance and unity
mm,
and harmony with people. So I
mm,
already know how
mm,
God can heal and deliver you. And
mm,
I can't fake it no more if I'm hurting.
mm,
And I got to be honest with people. I can't
mm,
fake it anymore because you know
mm,
what? At the
mm,
end of the day,
mm,
there's no
yeah.
peace, there's no joy, there's no love. And
Mm,
saying, oh, I got it all together when I
mm,
really actually don't.
mm,
And I'm hurting inside. And God just brought her there at the right time. And I just thank her for that. And I'm not crying now because I'm
mm,
crying because God healed me in a certain way right there. And then like the next day I just had joy in my heart.
mm,
Like
mm,
you
mm,
brought somebody there. So I
mm,
understand how you say it with Paul and Cyrus. He'll come in a moment when you least expect it.
mm,
So that's what I wanted to say because and
mm,
then we happen to get up here at the same time. So God don't make no mistakes. He's always right
yeah,
on time.
absolutely, absolutely. I told a story many years ago, um, and you sparked that in me when you as you were talking. The story of it's this famous museum. I can't remember where it was, but they had a guest one day. He was coming in to check out the artwork, just like everybody else, and he
Hmm.
had kind of his shoestrings were untied, and he didn't realize it, and he stepped on one of his shoestrings. Anybody ever had that ever happened to you? It can cause this true story can cause you to trip and fall, right? So he stumbles into one of their most precious artifacts, right? And just
Hmm.
breaks it into pieces or whatever. Um, and the story goes that they brought a professional in to try to restore it, right? And and she did. She restored it where it basically looked like new. And they asked her, "How was you able to do it?" And she said, "Because y'all brought me all of the pieces, all of the broken pieces, right?"
Amen. Mm.
And the moral of the story is too often we're looking to be put back together, but we don't want to bring all of the broken pieces.
That's very nice.
We want to be made whole without understanding, you know, you got to bring all of the broken pieces. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Everything that I go through, you know, everything that I've been through, everything
Yes.
that I've wrestled with. And then it's by bringing him all of the broken pieces, he
hmm
can put us back together whole. And so sometimes, to your point, we wanna pretend and try to stay strong for everybody else, and we won't bring those broken pieces where we can find our true
Yeah.
restoration. You know, we're trying to restore everybody else, but
hmm
then we're holding back our broken pieces. And then sometimes we'll get frustrated. Well, how they you know, moving and hold through the situation because they're bringing all of the broken pieces. And so that's
Yes.
what I would encourage everyone, you know, bring all of the broken pieces, you know, in your relationships, in your situations. And some people find that difficult, and I get that. But you can't find true healing until you bring all of your broken pieces, right? So whatever that
Yeah.
shame was, you know, my dad used to say, "Tell it before they tell it." That's me. You know what I'm saying?
Me too.
So, and then understand, you know, we all need a level of grace. I don't care how close you think you are to God.
Yes.
We all have moments of struggle. We all have moments of where that pain rushes in, or we're remembering or longing for that lost one that we lost, right? And all
hmm
of that, you know, goes in. And so in that moment, you got to bring him all of those broken pieces and not just some of the
Yeah.
broken pieces. And if we could ever, in this space, really grab a hold of that, bringing him all of our broken pieces, then we can be made whole. And then we'll have a level of grace for others
Yes.
because we're saying, listen, we're all flawed. We
hmm
all got some challenges. We all got some things that cause us to struggle. And now I can really have that grace for you,
hmm
and you can have that grace for me. So I thank you for sharing that, sharing your challenges and being transparent in this moment. Because that, you know, that blessed me, and I hope that it is bless others, because I know you're very strong and everything like that. And sometimes folk are always looking for your strength,
hmm
but then when you need their strength, they're like, "Oh, I ain't got nothing for you." But you know, because they
Yeah.
they become so used to you providing strength.
Yes.
And if you're not careful, they'll get in their feelings when you say, "No, I need this moment to bring my broken pieces." You know what I mean?
hmm
So yeah. So I appreciate that this morning. Come on, everybody, show Lori some love. Everybody show Shakira some love. All right. So the link is still up. If anybody else want to pop in and share with us on this morning as well, you can certainly pop in. I appreciate each and every one of y'all this morning. I'm going to give it about a few more minutes, and then we're going to rock out with the song of the day, or the creation of the day. Did y'all say if y'all was feeling that song or not? So Shakira, Lori, y'all stay on in the space, and we're going to rock out on this last song. I'm going to give y'all 30 seconds. If you want to pop in, click that link. Again, you don't have to come in on camera. If you don't want to, you can just come in on audio, but we would love to hear about you, hear from you. If you have any questions, that you want me to answer or anything like that, certainly you can pop in. Anything about what I talked about today as well. So come on into the space. We would love to see you. Let's go out this way. Yeah, we're breaking free. Yeah, freedom. Here we go. I just love this beat right here. Just a nice little bop. I really haven't done any like churchy songs.
But with my praise and breaking out, just belling every move. Like Paul in silence in the midnight hour, they say, watch these prison doors fly open. By the power his name brings. Yeah, I'm saying my will.
I appreciate each and every one of you. Love you so much. Make sure that you tag, text, and tell everybody, hey, what we do in this space. Share. So if it brought you some value this morning, go ahead and share it out to everybody that you know. Get connected in all of our spaces. Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, TikTok, YouTube. If you haven't subscribed, make sure that you subscribe. Hey, love y'all so much. I'm getting up out of here, but let's just pop together as we go. Hey. Love y'all so much. Talk to you real soon. We out of here. Peace, everybody.